Hello, beautiful people. Hope everyone is doing fantastic, doing great, middle of the week, and I hope it's been a week that you guys wanted for, planned for, and definitely working for. My name is FitzgeraldStephens. I'm your host for Find Ways to Win, and thank you guys for tuning into your homes, your offices, wherever you are. And I just wanted to talk to you briefly about the subjects of about the subject of you don't know it until you do it. You don't know it until you do it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a ton of information out there. You can find information for practically anything that you wanna have. YouTube videos is a dynamic form, along with TikTok and Instagram and various other social media sites. That seminars that you could just go and listen to people who are doing have done great things, and they give you the processes, and they tell you about what they do and how they're doing it and how they won at a particular endeavor. They tell you their story, and they have the fruits and the labor to show what they have in fact said is true for in the most part, in the majority of cases. And you will often find yourself listening to these people, buying their various materials to learn exactly what are the steps to achieving the greatness they have. But if you don't apply the action and do what they do, you really don't know what they do. That's why I wanted to emphasize you don't know something until you do it. It's only by doing that you really hardwire your brain and hardwire your soul, your spirit, and everything about your entire being that you can actually accomplish this. It's not in really in the meditating, or meditating is great. It's not really in the studying and constant repetition of materials and the constant affirmations of even saying positive things. All those things have their places, but they do not and will never override the principle of actually getting out and do what you need to do in order to achieve the results that you need to achieve for yourself. A person's actions define them. A person is known by their actions. They're known by what they do. So people are going to look at you first and foremost. They're going to listen to what you say, and what you say becomes supercharged and only comes by believable when you do what you say you're going to do. So I want to talk to you guys about the importance of that, the importance of getting out your way, the importance of stop getting ready to get ready, the importance of stop procrastinating, and the importance of being like a groupie, for as far as to say that you're looking at people who achieve the level of success in an area that you want, and you're admiring them from afar, and all those things have a place, but you're not doing anything. You're sitting around hoping that it's just going to materialize without you really putting in the work. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to put in the work, and you have to put in the work consistently, and you have to put in the work intelligently, and you have to put in the work vigorously in order to achieve the results that you want. It's not the thinking that brings about the work. It's not the meditating about the being about the work. It's not the positive affirmation that brings about the work. It brings about the work which brings about the results. It's in the concrete, absolutely total doing what you know you must do in order to win. Now, let's talk about a few of those things that would stop us from actually doing. Well, number one is fear. We hear fear so much that it's actually become a term that some people become comfortable with. It's almost like it's a play on words. But fear is very, very real. And fear has held back more dreams and more achievements for many of men and women that could have been great, that could have achieved great things, could be achieving great things. But somehow they think that they don't have enough in them to bring to do the necessary work in order to bring their passion in fruition. Number two could be associations. Now, I like to talk a lot about positive association, but I'm going to switch gears right now and talk about the importance of the detriment of negative association. Well, people who simply have a lot of negative self-talk, people who inspire you to go ahead and achieve what you know in your heart you must do. You have to be very, very careful about your circle. If your circle is not talking about winning, if your circle is not talking about success, if your circle is talking about frivolous conversation more than they're talking about positive achievements, whether that be in your health, your finances, your relationships, I suggest you need to change circles. You have to get around people who are galvanized towards success and who are people who are actually doing it. You have to formulate mastermind groups, and yeah, I believe in groups with groups within various circles of influence. Maybe you have a health group, maybe you have a financial group, maybe you have a relationship group, maybe you have a ministerial group. Things that make you better, and you're around doers, and you're around people who are actually out there putting in the work and putting in the effort. And you talk to them while they're doing. They make it known that if you don't have anything to contribute to the group, you don't have any positive doing, a positive talk, but we don't really even want you in this group because we're trying to move forward. We're trying to start this investment club, and we're looking to invest in stocks and looking to invest in dividends, and we're looking to create royalties, dividends, and residuals. And that's what we bring to the table. Likewise, and maybe you want to get your body in good shape and stuff. I know it's coming up for New Year's resolution, and which I don't agree in. I think it's literally a waste of time. If it's something in you is not powerful enough to spur you to move to continue action, it's just a wish, and it literally is a waste of your time. So, but let's say you got a good group. Let's say you have a good sparring partners, or maybe partners, because maybe if one can't come, if one can't, one time doesn't permit, you're not off on your goal. You got someone to push you. You got someone to help develop you, someone to push you to one more lap, one more rep, the push you to achieving your fitness goals. And and your thing, you're working with them because you're helping them achieve their fitness goals. So you have an accountability. If you want to get around relationships, if you're married, it makes no sense for you to hang around a bunch of single people. And as far as with trying to get marital relationship advice, you need to be around couples who have strong marriages, who have strong conflict resolution skills. You need to cultivate those relationships with married men. If you're a male, cultivate those relationships with married women. If you're a female, cultivate those relationships of doing things together as couples to reinforce your union, and to keep it tight, keep it right. Because if not, you would just slowly start sliding backwards if you're not continually doing anything to move it forward. Now, the importance of this is life changing. If you don't get about the business of doing, if you don't get about the business of action, don't say that you know something. Reading a book is not necessarily knowing something. It's applying what is written in the book to better your cause. You have to apply what you know in order to achieve the results. That's a fancy way for saying putting in the work and putting in that corresponding action that's necessary to move you forward. If you want to be advanced on your job, if you're or you want to be advanced in you're an entrepreneur, you want to be advanced in your business, you have to do what the leadership is saying to you. You have to go out there and apply what they have applied to get the results that you want. I spent about 25 years in sales, in various endeavors before I switched careers. And one thing I would learn real quick, that you, in order, and if you're gonna make have very, very good success in sales, the principle I would simply seek out was the top performers. And I would simply ask them, what are they doing? What did you do in order to achieve this result? And I've learned something about top performers and achievers. They love sharing their information with hungry people. But once they share their information, they want you to go out there and apply what they have shared to you. It doesn't make any difference that you're going to sit there and take notes from what they said in this, and you're going to record their voice or do any number of things. If you're not doing what the successful people do, you don't know it. If you get paralyzed by picking up the phone and you stare at the phone as if it's going to call itself, and you see that top sales person making something like 100 calls a day, or some even make 100 calls before 2 p.m. You gotta do the same thing if you want to get the results they have. Yes, there's you can refine your techniques once you're doing. Yes, you can sharpen your skill set, but you have to be doing. If you think that success is going to come before work, that only happens in the dictionary, ladies and gentlemen. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to discipline yourself to do what you know you need to do, when you need to do it, whether you feel like it or not. So see, success does have anything to do with your feelings. It doesn't have anything to do with it. You can't sit up there and say, "I'll get to it when I feel like it." That's the talk of a loser. That's the talk of an unmotivated person. That's the talk of a fearful person. And so you have to break down what is holding me back. What stops me from doing? What stops me from doing? I'm saying I know this, but according to my actions, I don't know it because I'm not doing. How can I change that? How can I turn on the flamethrowers and really get about the motion of action? How can I get out there and really pursue what I know I need to pursue on a consistent level basis? Well, here are a couple things that you might want to consider. Number one, you have to know exactly what you want. You know, you have to know exactly what you want. You have to get a crystal clear mental image of that and work towards it. Number two, you have to write down exactly what you want, or have a picture of exactly what you want. You have to have that in front of you constantly. I should be able to come to you and say, "Hey, what is it you're looking for? What do you want to achieve?" And you should be able to tell me, woken up at a cold sleep at 3 in the morning. This is what I want. Well, now I know that's in your spirit. And to take it a step further, you should be able to pull it up on your smartphones. I should be able to look at your goal sheets. I should be able to look where you do it. And number two, and number three rather, you have to mold that in your spirit and mind and go over it until you get that to it's just as obvious to you as your skin color. You know exactly where you're going, and you have to have time limits. See, if you don't set time limits on something that you want to do, all it is just a wish. It's nice to have. That would be great if it could happen, but I'll get to it one day. One day is equal to no day. If you can't tell me when do you expect to achieve something, I can tell you almost as certainly you're probably not going to have it. And I've used the word probably because there are exceptions. Some people can stumble on it, but you're definitely not going to maintain it. So you have to know that. And then the number four, which is the most important, once again, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to do it. You have to continue to do it. You're going to fight fear constantly. Get that in your mind. That don't think that you're going to arrive at this plateau so you never deal with fear anymore. But for a perfect example, I had to make this video today. But I got myself ready and I sat here at the computer. Already all I had to do is put the go live button, hit the go live button. But I was nervous. I get butterflies. I mean, I'm very good at public speaking. I'm very good at motivating people. I'm very good with dealing with people in relationships, and a many much knowledge on quite a few things. But I still have butterflies hitting the go live button. Only when I hit the go live button and I started doing and I started speaking to people, making this video, that's when I know how to make videos. And I probably got about close to about 57 videos on my own. Probably about 30 with Prince Don Asamir on his channel, Search for Uru. So I know how to do this, but yet I still have to deal with fear. You're going to too. That's normal. Don't think because you have to face those challenges that all of a sudden you're not you still got things that you're not good enough. Forget that. Doing actually cures the fear. When you get out there and do, you don't have time to think about the fear because now you're applying what you know. You're actually in action. And action cures fear. Not sometime, not probability once in a while, but each and every time action is going to cure fear. But rest assured, you get one life. You get one life. Unfortunately, I lost two family members in the space of just a couple of months since August. It's been a horrendous year. Far as with me with the losses that I've incurred right there, and one was extremely vital in my life. Gosh, she was so vital, but she's gone now. But I know that she will want me to be about the business of doing. Oh, I have my moments. Oh, I have the grief cycle, and with this particular individual, I'm gonna miss her to the day God calls me home and I see her in glory. But that doesn't stop me. I can't use that as a reason for not doing. I can't use that as a reason just to put my assignment on the shelf, or stop working, or stop producing this content, or stop pursuing my financial goals. I can't do that because she wouldn't want that, or neither would the other gentleman. They wouldn't want that. They would still say, "Hey, man, you got a job to do." People are dependent upon you, and you can't sit around there and keep having grief clothes on all day. You got to get up and you got to do something. You want to cure depression? Get up and do something. You want to cure anxiety? Get up and do something. You want to cure insignificance and thinking no one wants you and you don't have a purpose in life? Get up and do something. Do something with passion. Do something with purpose. And I'll even say this: learn how to do it even if you don't have passion. You cannot have passion, but you never cannot have purpose. You got to know where you're going, ladies and gentlemen. You got to know how to get about it, to be about it. You really do. Or the other words, you stand no chance. What's going to change? What's going to change if you just keep not engaging in the work? What's going to change? Tell me how can you you get a muscular fit body if you don't go to the gym and you don't work out and you don't discipline yourself in your food habits, your eating habits? How are you going to have a good relationship with your significant other if you don't work on your communication, which is the lifeblood of relationships? If you don't work on your personal appearance, you know what? The physical matters. How are you going to maintain a great financial IQ if you don't study dividend stocks? If you don't study bonds? If you don't study interest rates? If you don't study creating networking groups or network marketing business or online business? How are you going to survive in this new economy if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again because you're fearful of change, which is another thing that stops people from doing the work? They're too darn comfortable about what they have done or what their achievements was in the past. The past is just that. It's just the past. It's not going to benefit you anything in this present, not unless you apply some of the lessons of the past in order to make a better present. See, I'm not even going to say the future, because all you have is the now. All you have to train yourself to live in the present, and that's all that you really have to engage in. So you don't know it until you do it. So let's reverse this: do it, then you know it. Do it, then you know it. Someone tell you, hey, I started this side hustle. I was trying to struggling in my finance and didn't have enough money at the end of the month. And, I got tired of borrowing. I got tired of having that financial pressure. I decided no more. So I just created this little side hustle. And I just put out there, and I went out there and start talking to one person, and that led to 3 people, and led to 23 people and 33 people. And I learned how to set up cash apps, and I learned how to set up Zelle accounts, and I learned how to set up web pages, and I learned how to multiply and duplicate my time. And lo and behold, I started seeing some results, not necessarily mountainous and everything, but I started seeing results. I started seeing more income more income coming in by me applying myself. So I got better in how I did it. Then I started getting better at websites. Then I started getting better at communication. Then I started getting better at stirring passion. And sure, lo and behold, man, boom! My side business had become equal to my day job, and then I see now that it's on a goal to exceed my day job. Or I started being low in energy, and all of a sudden, I stopped eating the chips ahoy cookies, or I stopped eating the various sweets, and ingesting a lot of dairy products, and doing things that will run me down and make me feel like lethargic. And I started eating right. I started juicing. I started eating in smaller portions. I started exercise. Now, lo and behold, things started working in my life. Things started, what far as me health wise, my concentration improved. And you can have a number of these stories, you can have for yourself. But you get the most, the crux of this. You started doing something. When you start doing, now you know it. Now that you start doing, now you know it. If you're out there, one of those persons looking for a job, or you want to have a promotion on your job, you got to keep putting in the work. You got to keep making yourself more presentable. If you're not getting results with the work you're doing, you got to you got to evaluate that. What, let me critique myself. Maybe let me call a good friend, and let them hear me speak, or let them hear how I dress, or let them see how my personal grooming habits. Do I chop my words? Do I sound non-intelligent? Do I procrastinate? Do I take too long to follow up? Any number of these things, and it has to be an honest friend, or honest person who's going to give you exactly the truth about what you need to hear in order for you to make the improvements that you need to make in order to get the success that you want. And you got to go out and do it, ladies and gentlemen. No, time is of the essence, man. I remember being a child, and Christmas looked like it took so long to get here. And man, it just looked like it dragged on forever. And my birthday dragged on forever. Now the years are just literally flying by. My father told me when you turn 30, it seems like time accelerated. He told me that 27 years ago. As far as, and he was absolutely right. No, and so what's your plan to do? Yeah, that's a good statement. What is your plan to do? What is your plan to give very, very good, concrete, consistent surgical actions in order to achieve the results? Now, once you have that plan, what the steps do you need to make what the steps do you need to make in order to accomplish it? You see, you can't just get out there and work, although that is very important. Let me clarify that. You have to do the right type of work at the right time. And you dang sure have to be consistent in what you do. Consistency is the key to the breakthrough. It really is. You have to be patient. You have to, a lot of overnight successes that take place in 20 years. There's really no such thing as an overnight success. You have to be willing to accept that. You have to be willing to celebrate the small victories, and you have to build upon them and grow upon them. If you expect to achieve the breakthrough that you so desperately say that you want. Some of you guys have goals, and you want to be in a better position, a better lot in life. You could just breathe it. You could taste it. I mean, you get antsy not having it. Well, keep doing. And for those who are out there doing, I celebrate you do. Now you could take the next step by incorporating the mentorship, incorporating some of the expertise of others who are at with the level that you want to be, or have exceeded the level you want to be. Contact them, offer to take them out to lunch, become a subscriber on their social platform. Reach out to them. Compliment them on things, and offer to give them something back, and what they're doing, and what they're willing to give you. I mean, it's a reciprocity. You give and then you get. I mean, you can't expect for a serious person just to really put their time in you consistently without you offering to give them something back of value. It's just a form of respect. And then you got to get out there and do. And you got to keep doing it. and you got to keep doing. How long do you do, Fitzgerald? Until you get the breakthrough, until you walk it, until you walk it in what you said you want to walk in. It's just that simple. Then you reset another goal, and you keep this process going, going and going and going until God calls you home. That's the only way I see it to do it. So once you understand this process, that's going to take away this frustration quadrant. You're not going to get frustrated. You're not going to get patient, because you're going to look at your work. Your work is going to be your cheerleader. Your work is going to say, hey, you're out there doing something. You're not going to feel like you're underachieving, because you're consistently doing work. You're consistently doing things to bring the process and to pass. So that's pretty much all I have to say to you guys at the moment. I like to thank the new subscribers. We're almost at 1,000 right now, so I definitely need you to like and share this and subscribe and leave your comments. I definitely like to take the time to read the comments and see how I'm connecting with the audience. I relish your input, how we can make this better. Maybe there's a couple of subjects you would like me to talk about. Feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be happy to sit down and listen to that, consider that, because really this thing is about you. It's really about enhancing your life, making your life better, and just helping you find a way to win in whatever you want to do. There's greatness in you. And so stop allowing it to continue to be locked up, and stop allowing yourself to be put on a shelf, and stop being a groupie. Stop saying, hey, you hear about so and so, and he or she is doing this, and they bought this yacht, and they bought this new car, they bought this new house. Celebrate them, but man, don't be more concentrated on someone else's success than you are your own. That's foolish. Be happy for them, but be more focused on your own success than you are for someone else. And be willing to share, how you achieve that success with other people. And so what you want to do, you want to constantly be in perpetual motion. And remember, only when you do it do you know it. God bless y'all. Have an awesome day. Thank you for tuning in to Find Ways to Win with FitzgeraldStephens. Appreciate you guys so much. Much joy, peace, and respect and love to y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.